your bra and your underwear right now.
Okay.
It's at this point that police arrive, and the pranksters instruct the girls to yell at the cops, telling them not to come close.
Nah, they basically trying to. Nah, man. Listen, I know exactly what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing, man. Yo, NSG, we back again with day 5, aka day 5 of Kartmas. And listen, I told you I'm dedicated. We already gonna get these out the way. I'm finding out solutions as I go. So yeah. Listen, the one video that we're gonna react to, we're gonna have to cut it in 2 parts. So you might end up having to watch the first part, and you probably want to see the rest. Listen, stay tuned for the next one. That's most likely gonna be the very next day, so we can finish it. You feel me? But outside of that, though, if you are appreciating what I have been doing for y'all for the last few days, don't forget to leave a like. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't ever miss a upload, no matter if you desperately need some entertainment in your life, especially after that stressful shift. Guess what? I'm always here for you. And also you can join Noti Gang, because guess what? Noti Gang gets as much love as everybody else, just a little bit more, because that just tells me that y'all really are dedicated to what I be doing. Yeah, also don't forget to share the video, no matter who, and also stay updated on the community posts, because guess what, we are trying to be as more consistent on every last bit, because we are trying to take over as much as we go. So hopefully y'all with me, and yeah, let's get straight to it. Okay, this one is the internet's most dangerous prank site, and this is 42 minutes. And remember, like I said, we're going to cut this in half, and we most likely going to finish it the very next day, which is day 6.
In 2009, police were called after 3 KFC employees were found seemingly hysterical,
Also, the link is in the description,
naked and urinating on each other outside
I've been
of the
forgetting
restaurant.
to do that.
You need to remove your bra and your underwear right now.
Okay. Okay.
The same year, a hotel worker in Kentucky notifies authorities after being
What the
tricked
hell?
into drinking a man's urine by a mysterious caller.
And how does it taste, man?
It's horrible.
I want you to understand the fact, man, that you just drank that man's urine.
Months later, an elderly man destroys his motel room after being convinced a, quote, little person was inside the walls.
The caller also convinced the guests that there was a little person barricaded in the room next door, so the guests started breaking through the wall.
What do these bizarre and seemingly criminal incidents have to do with one another? They were all allegedly work of a notorious network of internet trolls and cybercriminals from a bygone era. Work of PrankNet. PrankNet, as the name suggests, was a collective of prank callers led by an arguable psychopath. This group committed elaborate and often criminal pranks against the innocent everyday members of society, from fast food workers to hotel guests and everything in between. Today we'll be revisiting the carnage this group wreaked around the United States throughout the late 2000s, as I tell you the stories behind some of their most heinous pranks and how the group was eventually taken out by the combined pressure of law enforcement and investigative journalists. These pranks aren't just cruel, they're worse than you can possibly imagine. This is the story of PrankNet. PrankNet, or sometimes referred to as Prank University, was created by an at the time anonymous internet user from Canada known as Dex. Dex began publishing pranks to the web in the early 2000s, but his work with PrankNet truly rose to prominence around 2008, after Dex began regularly broadcasting his calls to the PrankNet community, with hundreds of fans interacting and giving suggestions to him live in an IRC chat room. Despite its somewhat mean-spirited purpose, PrankNet was truly novel for the time, and it would be accurate to say that Dex and his crew were some of the first live streamers on the internet with a loyal audience. While initial pranks proved to be more in line with what you might expect, as 2009 rolls around, Dex and his gang begin to show their true colors, as activity coming from PrankNet goes from mean-spirited to downright unbelievably insane and in some cases criminal.
Well, it was clear that something was up when a witness saw a woman standing in the doorway of that Kentucky Fried Chicken at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, naked.
Enter one of PrankNet's most cruel and mind-bogglingly complex pranks. A prank that not only had 3 KFC employees butt naked in the freezing cold urinating on each other in front of police, but made national news headlines. This isn't an exaggeration. What you're about to hear really happened.
That is a lethal toxic chemical, and that can kill you. You're gonna have to remove your shirt, Mary. Those pants are gonna have to come off. Ask her if she's able to pee on her arm.
The date is February 26, 2009. A PrankNet user with a hammed-up British accent, along with Dex, posing as KFC corporate, make a call to the KFC Fried Chicken restaurant located on Daniel Webster Highway in Manchester, New Hampshire. Their initial goal? To trick an employee into thinking there was an issue with their Ansel fire suppression system, and then have them set it off and spray everywhere, set off the sprinklers, basically.
What we need for you to do now, madam, is to pull to Ansel fire suppression system to reset the system.
I've got to talk to my boss before I do that.
Okay, madam, I must tell you, this is the corporate head office of KFC. Okay, so my authority does override any rights that your manager may or may not give at this moment in time. You are actually working right now illegally because you have no fire suppression system in the kitchen. If we can't get this sorted now, we're going to have to close down the store.
The worker, who identifies herself as Sonia, pushes back against the request. But then Dex joins the call using the fake name Mr. Anderson.
Sonia, this is Jeff Anderson. If there's a fire that breaks out and you, being a KFC employee, unable to perform the right procedures in the event of a fire, it could pretty much mean that you're out of a job.
Sonia finally complies with the supposed KFC corpos and pulls the pin, thinking that it's going to reset the system. But as you might expect, the system just starts spraying everywhere. And of course, the pranksters act surprised by this, as if it wasn't their intention all along.
Ma'am, what's happening?
Coming out of my ceiling.
Is any of the chemicals touching your skin, ma'am?
No.
Okay, calm down.
Is it stopping, ma'am?
No, it's not stopping.
Okay, ma'am, just remain calm. Okay, ma'am, that is not supposed to happen.
Stuff's coming out of the squirty things.
So while things had been pretty silly up to this point in the call, things quickly get more disturbing.
Yeah, I figured.
Dex, as Mr. Anderson, moves into phase 2 of the prank, informing the girls that the chemical that was sprayed by the Ansel system is actually dangerous and potentially lethal if touched or inhaled.
Okay, ma'am, you need to get away from that right now. Is it still coming out?
No, it's not still coming out.
That is a lethal toxic chemical, and that can kill you. Now, where exactly did it get on you?
Kidding me? Did it get anywhere in your face? No, just her arms.
It's on her hands. Dean, it's on her hands. That's a 501 code.
They really start hamming it up here. Like, the British guy gets so into it that he momentarily forgets the corporate office that he's trying to impersonate.
Okay, ma'am, I need you to remain calm and stay on the phone and listen to the instructions the personnel are going to give you here from head office corporate Burger King, okay?
So now Sonia is convinced by them, and she starts the process of evacuating the store, yelling out an evacuation order to the many confused customers that were eating inside of the restaurant.
You need to declare the store unsafe.
We have to close our store. We just had our Ansel system go off, and we have to clean everything up before we can serve anybody. All right?
Yeah, louder, ma'am, please, louder.
For documentation
we have
purposes.
to close our store. I need everybody to exit. I hereby declare this store unsafe.
The employee touched by the Ansel spray, who goes by the name Faye, was also convinced to shout out an evacuation notice.
The store is unsafe, and we're now shutting the store down.
So at this point in the prank, all 3 women working at the KFC, Sonia, Faye, and another woman named Mary, are outside of the KFC in the cold weather, and the pranksters are telling them that a hazmat team is on the way to decontaminate them. This is where the pranksters really start to focus in on Faye and her direct skin contact to the supposedly deadly chemical. In order to protect herself from chemical burns, she was going to have to start taking off some clothes. At least that's what the corpos on the phone were saying. Also, so you don't get confused, they do refer to Faye a few times as a man, but it is a girl and they eventually figure it out.
Do you feel more?
Okay, this is just weird as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I just had to say this. It's just weird.
No.
Is any part of your skin burning?
No.
Are you burning anywhere on your arms or on your skin?
No, not right now.
Okay, that process is a slow process. Are you wearing the KFC uniform?
Yes, I am.
You need to remove your shirt right now, sir, please. What is Faye doing right now?
She's taking her shirt off.
Okay, is Faye a woman, or?
Yes.
I'm really worried for you right now because I don't want anything to happen to you, and this was not supposed to happen.
You're scaring me.
So with Faye being convinced to strip naked because of a relatively harmless bit of Ansel spray barely touching her arm, now the pranksters start to say that Sonya was infected too because of the airborne qualities of the spray. So they start having her strip down, remove the supposedly contaminated clothes.
Did you say that Sonya also got it on her hands?
Did you get sprayed, Sonya? She said no, but she breathed it in.
Oh my god, okay, she's gonna have to remove her shirt as well.
And she subsequently does exactly that.
Hello, Sonya.
Yeah.
This is a very serious situation. Have you removed your shirt?
Yep, I'm doing it right now.
The pranksters then start issuing a volley of more undressing commands, undressing Faye and Sonya piece by piece until both of them are completely naked other than their shoes.
Okay, Faye, now, did you remove your shirt and pants?
Yes, I did.
Now, is there an undershirt that you're still wearing?
Yes, there is.
Okay, that
Do I
needs to
take
come
that
off,
off?
Faye. What are you still wearing, ma'am?
Pants and a bra.
Those pants, as I said to you earlier, they need to come off.
It's so cold out here.
If your undershirt is off, your pants are off. Now, Sonya, are you wearing any sort of undergarment like a bra?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to remove that bra, Sonya.
Are you kidding?
Nah, these are just dang devious damn pervert.
Unfortunately, we have this urgent emergency situation I have to deal with. We need you to remove that bra immediately. As well as Faye. We don't want this to eat through your clothes.
So with Faye and Sonya now naked, the pranksters enter the final phase of their disturbing act, explaining that in order to remove the chemical agent entirely, they would have to pee on each other's skin in an effort to neutralize it like a jellyfish sting, is how they described it.
Ask her if she's able to pee on her arm.
Alright.
The urine contains a concentration of acid that's going to dissolve and deactivate the toxin that's on her arm. Now, Faye, I need you to remain calm. I need you to be strong for me, okay? Have you ever been stung by a jellyfish? Do you understand the protocol when you're stung by a jellyfish?
I'm not familiar with it, no.
Okay, now when you're stung by a jellyfish, you have to urinate on the part where you're stung. It's going to start to create a rash and eat out your skin unless you slow the process down. That's why you need to urinate on your arm right now.
I can try.
Hello, Sonya. Now what is happening with Faye?
He's going around the corner. He's trying to urinate.
Okay. It doesn't matter where the urine's coming from as long as it's just urine. Now, if she can't do it, would you be willing to do it for her, to be a good friend, and to help save her life?
Faye returns to the phone and confirms she pissed on her own arm. The pranksters then say that wouldn't be enough and that Sonya has to pee on her too. And they do it.
Hello?
Hello, Faye.
I got a little bit.
Okay, now,
I-
what
I
you're going to
rubbed
do
it
is
all
tell
over.
Sonya. Tell Sonya to come over there, and you're going to have to get her to do it right now.
Sonya,
Stay on
you
the phone.
pee on me?
Put your arm out under her vagina right now, and just let it run down on your arm.
Okay, at this point, I would ask you just to push out very slowly, so you can massage it into the skin.
Was she able to pee?
She peed a little. I mean, I got enough for my hands.
So as Faye is getting peed on by Sonya, at this point it's revealed that the third employee, a woman named Mary, actually briefly stepped inside the KFC while this phone call was going on. And upon hearing this, the KFC employees act like they're freaked out about this and say that now Mary has to strip down and get peed on.
Mary, I'm really sorry about this. You're going to have to remove your shirt, Mary. Please. You need to remove your bra and your underwear right now.
Okay.
It's at this point that police arrive, and the pranksters instruct the girls to yell at the cops, telling them not to come close because they're
Nah, they basically trying to. Nah, man. Listen, I know exactly what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing, man.
Toxic and contaminated. They don't want to spread it.
Are they almost here? Because now the police have showed up.
Okay, now you need to tell them to stay away.
Stay
They
away.
are there. Tell them that you have a chemical on your body.
Like, what?
And you're naked and that you need to stay away.
Do you want to yell at the cops too?
Tell the officer that if he comes near you, then he's going to have to get naked as well, and we don't want that to happen.
We had a chemical spray in our store.
We contacted the police because the hazmat crew still hasn't arrived yet. So what you need to do is don't get too close. Just come at least like 10 feet away from the officer and ask him to please urinate on your hand.
I'm going to have Mary do it, actually. Mary, I need you to pee on me.
So now the fire department is on the scene as well, and it's at this point where the prankster asks to speak to one of these firemen, pulling the gaslight of the century in the process. Dex switches his entire persona and tells the firefighter that he's a concerned friend of Sonia and that he just called and the girls were hysterical when they picked up the phone, acting like he has no idea what's going on despite him being the cause of all this.
I'm Mike Lee from What the Manchester Fire Department.
Okay.
We're trying to find out the sprinkler itself.
Well, I'm just trying to find out what's going on from my friend Sonia because she called me up saying she's naked. I'm just really concerned about her.
I am sitting right
Oh, he's lying.
It's around this point that this nearly 1 hour and 20-minute diabolical prank call comes to a close. The women were sent to the hospital to be cleared medically, and after telling their side of the story to the authorities, they finally come to the crushing realization that they had been taken for a wild ride by a degenerate group of pranksters. The local community was left baffled by this insane prank situation, and news agencies in the area would report on the aftermath, with all involved scratching their heads, totally unaware that PrankNet was the culprit.
Good morning, Aaron. They followed those instructions because they thought the phone call was coming from the KFC Corporation. It was not, and now as a result, the store is temporarily closed.
3 employees at the KFC on Daniel Webster Highway in Manchester were left out in the cold, wrapped in blankets, huddled in emergency
That's really
vehicles.
them.
Police say they were the victims of a dangerous prank that left them undressed and coated with chemicals.
As you might expect, the sheer complexity of this disgusting prank and the fact that the media covered it was very
How
much
did they not
pleasing
get
to
booked
Dex and the PrankNet
footage?
posse. The KFC prank would be referred to by PrankNet as one of their ultimate pranks, an unofficial category which I can only describe as a collection of their more elaborate and heinous calls, many of which involving police intervention. Police who at this point in time seemed totally at a loss for the source of these diabolical prank calls that continued to cause problems. Which brings us to another of one of PrankNet's most notorious deeds and our next call. The Homewood Suites urine drinking incident. A PrankNet call that left a victim drinking piss and a man thinking that they may have been infected with hepatitis.
Bring a urine sample to the front desk. We're going to need to say, hello, hi, here's the apple cider. Okay.
On July 20th of 2009, a prank call was set up by a PrankNet user simply going by the name Prankster on the website. The call began with the prankster dialing the Homewood Suites Inn, located on Ruscio Way in Lexington, Kentucky. He was then connected to the phone in room 206, where a male hotel resident would answer. The start of the call begins with the hoaxer informing the resident that he's a hotel administrator, and he tells the resident that they have a bit of a problem. The person that stayed in this room before you, buddy, well, they had hepatitis C and we didn't clean the room all the way, so we think that you may have been exposed to it and you could have it. Despite Hep C being a bloodborne illness, but whatever.
Look, we have a slight problem in the hotel right now. One of the guests that stayed in your room before you did, apparently they had hepatitis C, and our maids did not properly clean the rooms. And we're afraid that you may have contracted the disease from staying in the room and touching the objects in the room.
This fraudulent hotel administrator then requested that the tenant take one of...
So let me get this right. He wants him to literally pee in a cup, give it to said person, and be like, and act like it's apple cider. Yeah.
Of their courtesy water cups into the
nuts.
bathroom and urinate into it, and then bring the cup to the front desk so it could be tested by a, quote, hotel doctor.
And so what we're going to need you to do, ma'am, is we have a doctor down here in the front desk in the back office, ma'am. Do you know the courtesy cups in the bathroom? We're going to need a urine sample from you, ma'am, in order for the doctor to test to make sure there's no signs of hepatitis C in your system.
The resident, who oddly enough seemed rather calm during this whole ordeal, bought the proposition hook, line, and sinker and complies with the request. The resident is told to bring their piss-filled cup to the front desk and give it to the clerk, and then use a code phrase, "Here's the apple cider." The explanation for the code phrase being so you don't alarm other tenants in this hotel about the Hep C situation and cause a panic.
So just come to the front desk.
Yes, ma'am. Bring a urine sample to the front desk. And when you come down here, don't like say here's the urine sample or anything like that, because then people down in the front lobby would be wondering.
Gotcha.
What we're going to need you to say, ma'am, is we're going to need you to say, this is a code word for it. We're going to need you to say, hello, hi, here's the apple cider. Okay.
Now, as the tenant was bringing a small cup of what he thought might be an infected batch of piss down, the prankster begins the second part of his hoax, and that's where things get unimaginably disgusting. So now with the piss cup en route downstairs, prankster calls the front desk of the hotel, where a cheerful female hotel clerk answers.
Good morning, thanks for calling Homewood Suites by Hilton Lexington. Janet, may I help you?
With this woman now in his clutches, the prank caller explains to her that he's an employee of the Martinelli's Apple Cider Company, and one of their employee representatives was staying at the hotel, and he wanted the desk clerk to try the cider.
Hi, Janet. My name is Jamie Taylor. I'm calling on behalf of Martinelli's Cider Company. We have one of our employees staying in your hotel right now, ma'am. He's bringing apple cider down to the front desk right now for you, Janet. And once he gives you the cider, ma'am, just send him back up to his front desk. And I want you to stay on the phone with me because I'm going to do a quick survey. We're going to get you to taste the cider, and we're going to ask you exactly how you like the taste and if it tastes all right for you, ma'am, okay?
The clerk didn't seem as gullible as the first guy and was initially pretty skeptical towards the individual on the phone. She asked more questions and the caller adequately answers them, calming her skepticism.
And what's the name of the company?
Martinelli's.
How do you spell that?
Martinellis.
Okay, I've got it.
It's at this fateful moment that the original victim arrives at the front desk and hands off the piss-filled cup to the desk clerk, who thinks it's apple cider. The piss cup is handed over and the woman prepares to try it.
Here he comes.
Okay, go ahead and just take the cider and send him back up to his room.
You're sure there's no poison in this?
I'm sure, ma'am.
And now, the moment of truth. The disgusting prank comes to fruition and the clerk drinks the urine cider.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, ma'am, go ahead and take a good little gulp like you were drinking cider.
Yeah.
Okay, and how does it taste, ma'am?
Horrible.
Horrible?
That does not taste like...
Try another sip now.
No.
Okay, the thing about it, how the hell do you end up getting it mixed, like apple cider mixed up with what's it called, urine? It's two different things. How? Like, that makes no sense to me.
I'm not going to take another sip. That's horrible.
Ma'am, please, when you take another sip, ma'am, it may have been like an aftertaste or something.
No, I can't take any more of that.
The call ends with the PrankNet members laughing hysterically and berating the hotel clerk, calling her a bunch of names. Another horrible prank completed.
I want you to understand the fact, ma'am, that you just drank that man's urine. You just drank Mr. Cartel's urine. You just drank piss, you dumb bitch. She drank piss. She fucking did it.
The sick degenerates at PrankNet had successfully pulled off yet another criminal prank and harmed an innocent victim in the process. The hotel would notify police over this extremely disturbing matter. Cops would comment on this bizarre call, calling it criminal, in fact. They described it as first-degree wanton endangerment, which is considered a Class D felony in the state of Kentucky. The PrankNet call also prompted a statement from Homewood Suites as well. Quote, an incident did occur at this property on July 20th involving a prankster, a guest, and an employee of this hotel. We immediately notified the local authorities who are currently investigating the incident as a first-degree felony. As a health precaution, the employee sought medical attention and is completing a course of antibiotics. Pranks such as this are becoming more prevalent throughout the hospitality industry, and we're taking additional measures to prevent these types of incidents from happening again. The urine drinking incident sparked by PrankNet made national headlines, and news media would comment on the situation, in a way giving the pranksters the satisfaction that they wanted.
A group of men who gather on the chat site pranknet.org are wreaking havoc across the country, but the prank they pulled on a hotel clerk July 20th here in Lexington may be the most disturbing yet.
Well, Chris, everything went perfect for the Texas man who wanted to play a little joke on an unsuspecting hotel clerk at the Homewood Suites in Lexington.
I think it's repulsive, it's mean-spirited, and it's really kind of the worst part of what the internet provides people.
PrankNet would continue their rampage, unleashing a wave of smaller-scale pranks throughout 2009 and 2010, many of which targeted hotel employees and hotel residents. In one prank, they convinced a man that his room was filled with—
All right, that's the first half. We seen two nasty fucking things, but hopefully y'all enjoyed it. With that being first half of part 1 of the vid, because I'm not gonna give y'all 42 minutes. I'm not gonna do that to y'all. So I'm gonna split it in half, which I'm doing. How y'all feeling about the first half though? Like, because I find it to be very disturbing. But outside of that, listen, don't forget to leave a like, also subscribe and hit the notification bell, because if you hit the notification bell, that means you're part of Naughty Gang. And guess what? Naughty Gang gets a whole lot of love out of me, because that just shows that y'all really genuinely fuck with me for real. And another thing I need y'all to do is also don't forget to share the vid. And guess what? Since we are in day 4 of Kartmas, I already know how this gonna be. It's gonna be a breeze after like the first few days, but it's gonna get hectic when it comes to more. And I'm ready to take the challenge, but I hope y'all are ready with me. And yeah, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Energy about to be on top. We about to take over the 4th quarter, and I love every single one of y'all consensually. Yeah, I am out of here.